Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about Unit 1.1 Meaning, Scope and Development of Anthropology. So let's have a session. Meaning. Anthropology is a word which has meaning of anthropos and logos in Greek language. Anthropos denotes man and logos shows study. Now we will discuss about some of characteristics of this discipline, because simply this is say that this anthropology is study of man. Now it is says that anthropology is holistic study. This is characteristic one of this discipline. Here holistic shows that we will discuss study of man across time and space. It shows that in time dimension we will study man from prehistoric time to contemporary studies. Thus we will discuss about evolution of man to present societies. And when we discuss about second dimension space, now in this we will discuss about variations, physical as well as social cultural variations across different cultures in different continents in our world. So we have discussed first characteristic holistic study. Now let's move on. Now different anthropologists have tried to define this discipline in different ways. Firstly, Kroeber, according to him, anthropology is study of man's behavior in groups, because according to him individual behavior is different when he behave alone, and its behavior is different when he behave in society. So anthropology study that societal behavior of an individual. According to Herskovits, anthropology is all about studying human and his work. So he says that in anthropology we will measure about human beings and his work. Here measurement not only says about physical measurement. Here measurement is very inclusive. He is also saying about analyzing work of human. Now second characteristic, now we will discuss about discipline is anthropology is both a biological as well as social science. Before taking even your discipline that of anthropology, someone has guided you that this discipline is more scientific among humanities and more humanistic among sciences. So this shows that anthropology is a unique discipline, have characteristic of both science subjects as well as of humanity subjects. In biological terms, we will discuss about status of human being as an organism in animal kingdom, as well as unique characteristic that is culture that a only human species have and not other species of animal kingdom have. So we will discuss about both these aspects. Now we will discuss in detail anthropology as a biological as well as social science. We are discussing in detail because this is important topic and this was earlier asked by UPSC also. So when anthropology as a discipline started, it take inspiration from Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin worked on describing organic evolution, that is biological evolution of man. So earlier anthropologists were also inspired from evolutionary concept of Charles Darwin, and thus their theories and their belief pattern gave anthropology a more tilt towards biological sciences. Even but later German scholars says that this is not true. Anthropology is discussing more about human aspects, more about cultural aspects, a socialization concept which the human being has. But later different anthropologists came and everyone gave his or her own views on status of anthropology. Malinowski, he is one of important anthropologist, and we will discuss about him in our theory part. He says that anthropology is a unique discipline and it have characteristics of both biological and social sciences. And it's not about to describe it as a biological science or social science, because it stands in between both of them. Whereas other anthropologists like Radcliffe Brown and Nadal, they says that anthropology, like a natural science, like a biological science, it focus more on describing some universal laws that is applicable to every human being. And always remember, only sciences have some universal laws, not humanities. So they are focusing on describing some universal laws, so that anthropology will have more scientific character. Evans Pritchard, this was a different anthropologist, and he gave his view that anthropology is not more scientific, but it is a branch of social anthropology which focus more on studying simple societies like tribes. So this is not even a different discipline. Apart from these anthropologists, some other anthropologists also describe their views, but modern anthropologists like postmodernism, they didn't differentiate and they will not focus on describing anthropology as a biological or social science. Now they are focusing on describing every aspect in both terms. For example, they will describe how sleep pattern of an individual can be influenced by both biological as well as social factors. Maybe due to noise is higher in a place, or maybe due to someone is having someone is having bad health. So they are now focusing on those, describing both aspects, not on differentiating what is more biological or what is more social. So now we have discussed this topic also. Now another characteristic, holistic study. We have discussed about it earlier, but now we will discuss in detail. We have discussed about anthropology as unique discipline across time and space. It study human being. So its holism is described in these words also. But anthropologist has says that here holism is a bigger term, because if we discuss man as a biological person, what we will do? We will discuss about his genes, his phenotypes, his physique characteristics, etc. But when we describe about social aspect, we will discuss about his political life, his social life, his economic status, all these aspects. But his holistic aspect says that we can't discuss every aspect individually. For example, we can't discuss his political aspect without understanding his social aspect here, without understanding his biological features here, because all aspects are integrated and every aspect is influenced by other factors. So even every characteristic of a human being is influenced by other cultures, his own culture. So holism is focusing on studying this influence, thus a more integrated study of a individual can be take place. Now we have discussed this topic also. Now, scope of anthropology. We have discussed meaning of anthropology and also some of characteristics of anthropology. Now we discuss about scope of anthropology. To study scope, we have to understand what are the special fields and what they are studying, so that we can analyze what all areas where anthropology can be applied. Now, earlier, mainly physical anthropology and cultural anthropology, these were two main fields, but as discipline progressed, newer branches like linguistic anthropology and archaeological anthropology also came up. We will discuss about each sub branch in detail now. Physical anthropology. We have discussed that anthropology is about studying evolution and the variation part, because evolution is time and variation is space. So when we discuss about physical anthropology, this will also study about evolution and variation. And physical advance, here we will study about physical evolution and physical variation. Clear? Because this is our nature of discipline, studying evolution and variation. So we have applied that concept in physical anthropology also. So we are discussing about physical evolution and physical variation. In physical evolution, we will study how our evolution take place from our ancestors. Our ancestors are apes, primates. We can discuss whole sequence of evolution. And in variation, we will discuss about different physical features of human being, and we will discuss about concepts like races, where different physical features of individuals have. So physical anthropology now is also subdivided into different branches to further specialize our study. For example, human biology, evolution, variation and genetics. In human biology, we will discuss more about physic pattern and biological structure. For example, organ, tissues, how our body works. These are some of the topics we will discuss in this branch. Now evolution, we will discuss about human being's position in animal kingdom, and we will discuss about how different characteristic features of organism evolved. For example, earlier human being has a stature like this, then after that erect posture has developed. Then the variation, we will discuss about concept of race to identify how one individual is different from another. Even the fingerprinting, this shows how every individual is unique. In genetics, we will discuss about topics of heredity and variation. We will discuss how genes, they will transfer characteristics of an individual from one generation to next generation. So genes are carrier of information, and why we are similar to our parents, why we are similar to our siblings. These questions will be answered in this branch, human genetics. As discipline further progressed, some application of physical anthropology also came up, and new sub branches like anthropometry, forensic anthropology, osteology, nutrition anthropology also came up. Remember, now we will discuss about these branches and these new fields in detail in unit 1.3. Here we are just introducing to you a new discipline. So listen patiently. Now, anthropometry is about measurement of human being. For example, how much fat an individual have, what is the length of the limbs of an individual. We will discuss all this in anthropometry. In forensic anthropology, we will discuss how anthropology can be useful in solving crime cases. In osteology, we will discuss about study of bones. In nutrition anthropology, we will discuss how nutrition can be different in different cultures, and we will discuss about how nutrition is useful for our growth and development. These aspects will be discussed. Now the next branch is socio-cultural anthropology. So again, anthropology meaning evolution and variation. So in socio-cultural anthropology, we will discuss about socio-cultural evolution and variation. So socio-cultural evolution, that will signify how we are evolved from simple societies to complex societies. In simple societies, I mean they have simple norms of marriage, simple norms of collecting food, but in complex societies everyone has a different role. In complex societies we will differentiate. For example, men will be do this work, women will do this work. So all differentiation will happen. In complex societies there is different individual for political governance, different for security, different for judiciary. But in simple society, even head of a clan, head of the family is doing all works. So they are called simple society, and this is complex society, and we are currently living in complex society. Then we will discuss about evolution. So simple to complex societies in variation. We will discuss how different cultures are different and why they are different. For example, why Western world is so individualistic and why Eastern or typically Indian culture is so collective in nature. Then we will discuss about the important aspect of discipline is tribal part. How they are so collected in their aspect, so much interconnections in their social cultural life, where their even social life determine what their economic pattern is. So we will discuss about all these features in variation part. And remember, when we will discuss about these variations, you will itself become more adaptive to different variations, more adaptive to different changes. So discipline will make you more adaptive in your life also. So we will discuss about different branches like social anthropology, economic anthropology, religion, art in socio-cultural dimension. You will also have some question regarding what is difference between social and cultural dimension. So society and culture, when we will discuss about unit 2, we will discuss about these minute differences in detail, because culture is about our way of life, our daily routine habits, but society is all about the group of people. and these group of people have those habits, so they are interlinked also. So don't be confused in beginning. We will discuss about these in detail. Now the next branch is archaeological anthropology. In archaeology we will study about the remaining fossils, maybe their DNA, maybe their tools that they have used earlier. We will discuss about all this pattern, and then we will analyze what was their culture. For example, if there is some picture of plow is drawn, then we can analyze, so that means they have some knowledge of agriculture, and then cultivation must have happened in that place. So by analyzing these things, we will analyze the prehistoric people, and we will discuss how our evolution of culture from those people has happened. For example, Harappan culture, we have some knowledge about these people from archaeological anthropology only. In next branch is linguistic anthropology. Here man as a unique organism has a organized communication through language. So he used language as a medium to communicate his ideas. So in linguistic anthropology we will discuss about how human being is so unique and what are the biological features that only human being have that helped him to have this unique aspect of language. And we also discuss about the social features, as like how language helps in maintaining culture, how language help in transferring our values, customs from one generation to next generation. So all these aspects will be studied in linguistic anthropology. Now, as discipline more progressed and as anthropologists, they take more interest in applied anthropology also. Applied means what are the applications of the knowledge of anthropology. So new sub branches like applied and action anthropology also are must. Now applied anthropology, in this field, here anthropology will collect data from field about their social status, about their cultural aspect. He will collect data and analyze data, and his data, his hypothesis, this will be utilized by administrator or policy maker. They will make some policy according to this data. For example, consider this anthropologist has collected information regarding food status in district X. Then district administration of that area will utilize in distributing MGNREGA funds to that area, because he had now knowledge that this area has more malnutrition problem, more poverty. So MGNREGA will help in giving more jobs in that area so that poverty can be reduced. So I have shown how this anthropology can be utilized in our India also. Now action anthropologist, this term was given by Soltex, and this is most newer branch in anthropology. Here anthropology themselves take part in policy making and governance. For example, consider this anthropologist, he collected data, he done survey in area, then he is also a part of legislature and he is also an administrator of that area. So he used his first hand experience in policy making and in administration. This is called as action anthropology. So now we have discussed 4 branches, that is physical anthropology, sociocultural anthropology, archaeological and linguistic, and then the applied and action anthropology. Now other sub branches, because as discipline progressed, even sub branches even under physical, under sociocultural as also must. So I am introducing you some newer definitions so that you will be more aware about discipline and you have more interest when we will study detailed unit on economic anthropology, on political anthropology. So economic anthropology is different from economics. Firstly, remember this thing, because in economics we will focus more on studying present society, how the profit loss making has happened, all these aspects. But in economic anthropology, again we will discuss about evolution and variation. So we will discuss about how now present pattern of distribution of resources, present pattern of production is evolved, how we are becoming agricultural society, how we are becoming a service or industrial society. Because firstly we will discuss about hunter gatherer, then we will discuss about pastoralist, how then this society will become more developed and become agricultural society. These aspects will be discussed in evolution part, and in variation part we will discuss about different features, how hunter gatherer society is different from agriculture, how agriculture is different from industrial society. These aspects will be discussed in economic anthropology. Similarly, in political anthropology, what we will discuss about evolution and variation. So in evolution we will discuss how our present state society, where we have different political, different military part, these complex society had developed from a simple tribal society where only a head of family take all decisions, all political, military, all decisions from that small group. Now how different state or a complex society has developed. Then we also discuss about variation, how is democratic society or more autocratic society, how these are different, how different even different tribes have different political system. We will discuss about these aspects. Now two terms, ethnology and ethnography. These two terms are important to understand basic of discipline. And ethnology, in ethnology we will study about a particular society after comparing it to other society. For example, consider now we want to study culture B, and this is Eastern society, consider it as India. So but we are taking A, that is European society, as a reference point. So if we will say that Eastern society has more tradition of organizing large festivals, so we are considering it large because we have taken some reference of European world. So this was pattern which was followed by colonial anthropologists which have studied our Indian society or other Eastern society. So they will study one society in reference to other. This is ethnology society. So but notice, they are studying in reference to other means they may miss some unique aspect of this society, and maybe they have some biasness that this is only superior and we are studying some inferior society. So this was somewhat criticized. Now later this concept ethnography emerged. In ethnography we will study detail about a particular society. Consider we will discuss about society A or B. We are studying society A in detail, then we are studying society B in detail. Here we are not have any biasness or preconceived notion that A is more developed or B is more developed. We are studying this society from aspect of these people, so here is detailed study, and this is considered as more detailed, more accurate study of any particular society. Now the third topic, we have discussed about meaning of anthropology. We have discussed about the scope of anthropology by studying detail about the various sub branches. Now we will discuss about development of anthropology. Generally, now it is considered that anthropology has beginning in 4th and 5th century, when a Greek scholar Herodotus have done some study which was considered as a kind of anthropological study. And later even the Aristotle also says that he has conducted some study of anthropology discipline, but till now even no one has somewhat organized this discipline. Later in 13th-14th century also some studies were conducted, but an organized study and organized push through discipline is given when Charles Darwin, his book Origin of Species by Natural Selection was published, and where Darwin has described about evolution process. He is given by organic evolution. He has discussed this. So various scholars like Tyler, from the biological evolution, he now try to study social evolution or cultural evolution. So now the more push to discipline has happened, and now even Tyler is given credit for establishing a different discipline in Oxford University. So even some anthropologists have seen that Darwin can be considered as an inspiration for anthropology discipline as well. And one important fact is Herodotus is considered as the father of anthropology. Now, as time progressed, Europeans and so called colonizers, they are starting spreading to other parts of world, and also remember they are going through some enlightenment era also, so they have some curiosity in their mind to understand other things, plus they have industrialization, so they are more traveling to other parts. So now when these both factors combined, they try to understand how different societies which they are observing, why they are different, but they have some preconceived notion of that they are superior, and they will call other societies as inferior, and they want to understand why they are so much inferior, why there is so much food security issues. So a other organized push to discipline is given due to this curiosity factor and the other traveling and the industrial revolution factor. So later in 20th century, this development of anthropology also specialized in different disciplines like physical anthropology and cultural anthropology, because now the large number of people are interested, but they have different interests, so they have characterized discipline into different branches. As time progressed, more anthropologists has contributed, and when the 1930, 1940 and the post-World War period, now anthropology as discipline established in different countries, not only in the Europe or the North America. So even the Eastern world also came to know about a new discipline called anthropology. So these were when we are studying about European, and they are using their superiority complex to study other aspects. Now these study and those anthropologists are called as evolutionist. But later, as discipline progressed in other countries, now the functionalism, structuralism, postmodernism, new type of thinkers came up. We will discuss about this in different chapters, so don't be feared now. Now we have discussed about meaning, scope and development. Now the purpose, because earlier topics we will discuss because they are given in syllabus, but this will be different topic that will help to write one or two extra line in paper, and that will give that touch that you have studied discipline not just for marks. You have studied discipline because of your interest. So these lines will highlight your humanity part in paper, and which will make different your answer from others. So earlier anthropologists focus on giving various theories like evolutionist, structuralist, but as now they are coming to field, now they are studying people, so they start taking interest why people are so deprived of basic necessities, why they are so much marginalized people. So they want to raise their voice at the bigger platform. Now they are raising voice regarding injustice and inequality, and how development take place and its consequences for the most marginalized people like tribals or scheduled castes. So environmental and social imbalances that are existing in society, these issues are now raised by anthropologists, and now they are not just focusing on giving theories or expanding ambit of discipline, but now they are focusing on raising standard of living of other people. So now discipline of humans and for humans. This line is according to me is one of the important line in unit 1.1, which describe purpose of this discipline. Even Ruth Benedict, she is one of important anthropologist in Culture Personality School. We will discuss about her in detail. She says that purpose of anthropology is to make world safe for human differences, because as there will be differences in biological terms or in social cultural terms, there will be discrimination started, because black and whites, there will be discrimination and the racism concept raise up. When there will be differences on cultural terms, now the Western society will see other societies are inferior society. So anthropology has that purpose that the every individual become tolerant to other society, to other differences. The purpose of anthropology is to world safe for differences. Now last topic for this session, and I am discussing these small topics so that you will understand crux of discipline, and you will have easiness in understanding later complex topics. Now the participant observation, this is one of important and core topic for discipline, because this is research method where every anthropologist has to live long time in field with people whom he want to study or survey, where he have to learn their language, he have to live their lifestyle, and now he will have close contact with these people, so he have better idea why some festival or some occasion have particular type of symbols, have particular type of gathering, so he can understand better all these things. Because when we feel anything, we will understanding it better as compared to when we are just observing something. So this is the crux of this participant observation, and this participant study makes an anthropologist study more inclusive, and he will write more inclusive data, more inclusive theory regarding any study. So this will help in making our discipline more holistic. As we are discussing participant observation, I have to mention Malinowski. This is anthropologist that I have also mentioned regarding when I discuss about anthropology as a social or cultural discipline, because he make that participant observation is mandatory for any anthropological study in our discipline. And I have mentioned some documentaries regarding his work. You can see that, and please see those documentaries and other videos regarding this anthropology, so you have more interest in discipline. So let's revise what we have discussed so that you will not forget what we have discussed till now. Now the meaning: anthropos and logos, study of man across time and space. Now the other characteristic is holistic study when we are discuss about across time and space. And Kroeber, what he says is the study of man in group, and Harskovitz says that a measurement of human being and his work. Now the other characteristic is anthropology is a biological as well as social science. So different anthropologists like Malinowski, Radcliffe Brown, Evans Pritchard, these have given their opinion regarding this aspect. Always remember, you have to mention these authors name, this anthropologist name, otherwise you will not get marks. Anthropology is very scoring optional, but you have to write anthropologist name, you have to draw diagrams to gain more marks. Now we have discussed detail why it is holistic study, where we have discussed about that sum of different parts is less as compared to whole part, because here we are studying some integrated study of the social, political, biological, all aspects, and every culture is even influenced by other culture. Now scope of anthropology, we will have discussed about physical, socioculture, archaeological, linguistic, and the new branches like applied and the action anthropologists. Even when we discuss about Indian anthropology, you will know that S.C. Roy, he is a famous Indian anthropologist. He has worked as applied anthropologist as well as action anthropologist. Other sub-branches, economic, political, ethnography, and ethnology. These are other important basics of our discipline. Now the development, Herodotus has given definition. Now the Charles Darwin's role in anthropology, then the how the Enlightenment era, how the Industrial Revolution also helped in establishment of our discipline. Now the different theories later come up with time. Now the how the purposes of discipline is to make a discipline of humans and that works for humans. Now the participant observation, where the Malinowski's role is crucial. So that's all for today's session. For next topic, you have to watch second session. Thank you so much.